Well, it's been a long time coming, but we finally got the rest of our parts for the planter. Well, not quite the rest. The rest of them should be showing up shipped directly to the farm here by the end of the day. But we finally got our closing wheel, so we do have to get these stalled eventually. That is not a right now project though. We're gonna leave that there and go finish working in the field. Well, I'm gonna jump in the rock picker here and hopefully we can finish up this land cleaning project today and move on to a different job. Do the right thing, get it started up, and give it max smoke. We're gonna try and not make this a rinse and repeat video tomorrow. Hopefully we get this job done quick. But apparently, we got a big rock here that the skid steer cannot get dug out, and we missed with the large excavators apparently. So, payloader's up for grabs. You know, not the biggest rock we've seen, but definitely sizable. Definitely got some weight for the skid steer the way it looks. I must be very paranoid that I'm gonna get a flat tire, or I've gotten a flat tire, because the AC kicked on the tractor a lot higher and I heard a hissing noise. I thought I drove over something and blew a tire, but turns out it's just my air conditioning. Close call, but not really.
This whole rock picking thing, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it. I hate it because it can be super repetitive just doing the same thing. Like right now, I'm currently hauling for the rock picker. So I drive up to him, he dumps on the right side of my bucket. I back away for like a minute, he dumps on the left side of the bucket. I drive to a rock pile, dump, and repeat. The only thing that keeps it a little bit entertaining is if we find a big solid rock that the rake jumps over, I get to dig it out, and paying attention to the skid steer to make sure I don't back into him and help unload his bucket so he doesn't have to haul it to the rock pile. But on the plus side to it, I get to run fun stuff like this payloader. This is every kid's dream. I'm just playing in a giant sandbox basically out here. And then the other thing is, once you got a place all finished up and cleaned up and looking nice, it's super satisfying, and I love seeing a field once it's cleaned up. And we also try not to run over the rocks because this payloader will squish them into the ground, and then the rock picker has a hard time getting them back out. And now for the fun part of dumping the bucket. I think it was made for back when the road was made, where they got gravel for the road. Now it's kind of just a big hole. All joking aside though, I am very grateful that we have this machinery to run for picking rock. It makes it way better. And I'm grateful that we have the rocks to pick, because if we weren't picking the rocks, we didn't have the land that we can be improving and cleaning up. And most of the time, I'm having a lot of fun. Well, I had dentist this morning, so I didn't get out here till later, basically after lunch. So I grabbed lunch before coming out, and then after I got out here, Dad and Brandon went back for their lunch, and I took over for them running the payloader. But now that Dad's back, he took over on the payloader. We don't need two of them. There's not enough rocks in this field that we need both of them running. So now I'm gonna go jump back into this tractor and finish cultivating this field. And once I'm done with that, I have no idea what I'm gonna do next, but we'll figure it out. Okay, I've let the tractor idle here for like 8 minutes. I think we're warm enough to let it start moving. So we're gonna raise the implement, put it in gear, which I already did. Where JT left off, I think he was the last one to run this thing.
This little bugger here, that's got my rake stuck.
There we go, we are online. Now we just get up to speed that I want. Luckily just missed a very large rock. Barely, we just barely nicked it. Don't got very much left of this field to do. I only got over to them trees, which that's not very far to go. So last fall, when this tractor was being used for harvest on the grain cart, it ended up getting some little furry friends in here. It sat in the field overnight for like 2 days. Longer than it should have, being rained out. Some mice crawled into here and tried to make a home. You could hear them in here squeaking for like a little over a week, and then they quit squeaking. Had mouse traps set in here, so overnights when we'd be gone and come back, we'd hopefully catch them and get them out of here. Never ended up catching anything, just could hear them squeaking every morning and evening. Only for about 2 weeks. This winter, once we had everything unhooked and cleaned up, tore this tractor apart, trying to figure out where they got in at and get anything out if they were in here. But what we ended up finding is down underneath this refrigerator, drain line that goes down through the floor for it to drain the moisture from the refrigerator out. Well, the mice chewed through that, and it made a hole coming straight up into the cab here. where they could get in. Well, we stuffed that back full of some steel wool, so hopefully they don't come in there. Finding one little baby mouse that ended up dying and drying out in here. And that, no real signs of mice other than you could hear him squeak when we were operating it during harvest time, and there was a roll of paper towels down there that was just starting to get chewed on. Thought that was the only things with the little furry friends until I'm sitting here going back and forth and I noticed one other thing. Furry friends got some stuff in there. So apparently they made it up into the roof of this thing and attempted to make a nest inside the light. I don't know exactly why, but they wanted a well-lit home, I guess.
You know, not a whole lot can stop this rock picker. It usually just works. Except for when you plug it. And there is a reverser to back it out, but sometimes that just doesn't want to work either. So then you got to get a chain and pull it out. And it's not like it can't pick this rock, that it's too big of a rock. It's just the way it went in. Sometimes that just happens. Okay, we have our hydraulic in neutral and triple checking on my monitor that my hydraulic's in neutral before I go crawling into that picking unit. And all of a sudden it lets loose and disaster happens. Technically, since I've been running here a while, I could even shut the tractor off, which we're gonna do because it cooled down, and you can never play stuff tough. Never play this type of stuff too safely. Joey has arrived with my chain that only has one hook, so this is gonna be interesting. Into the rock picker we go. Oh, look at that. The hook conveniently fits perfectly on there. I didn't know that. I always went around it before and hooked it to itself. Not an easy job for a healthy man to be crawling in there. Now the hook on this chain has fallen off, but with this quick little pull, I should be able to just hold it in there. Hey Joey, nice and easy. He shakes his head at me. You know, this is maybe the danger zone. We'll hide behind the tire. Chains are scary. Well, I think we got her out, as long as we didn't break anything. Who am I kidding? You can't break a Halo rock picker. Oh yeah, she's perfectly fine. Gotta get this hook off of here. Come on, Fluffy. There we go. Yeah, it looks like a rock picker. Okay, remove this pin because we don't got the cotter key that holds that little bolt in. Okay, problem fixed. Now back to our regular scheduled program of picking rock very slowly, but also very efficient. Finally, letting this picker shine where she does a lot of good work, where there's not a bunch of sod and a lot of rock. It's a very rocky area, very small, but she'll definitely do the job. I got my friend Frank in there running the picker. It's so satisfying running this picker in actual optimal conditions. This is what this place looks like after one pass. It's definitely gonna take more than one though. That's a lot of rock. Perfectly full payloader bucket of mostly clean rock. And now this area that was absolutely loaded with rock is now farmable. There's still a few small ones, but it can't get them all. I would need to cultivate this up and hit it again, but good enough for me. We're no-till. It'll work. I'm not growing potatoes out here. I'm just growing rocks, I guess.
Well, me and Brandon finished up the cultivating and heavy harrowing, so we brought these two pieces of equipment home. Now we're gonna run back down to get another load of equipment to start bringing back. The heavy disc can come back, and we gotta do one more pass with the quick till, and then that can come back. Well, Brandon's going to go jump in the other payloader to run that for a little bit because Dad's out of diesel apparently, so Brandon's gonna jump in the other payloader, keep the rock picker going until he's done filling up with fuel. I'm gonna jump in the quick till. I'm gonna get to quick tilling over there. Once Brandon's done, or Dad's done filling technically, Brandon's gonna park that payloader, go jump into the Wishick disc, the heavy disc. He's gonna take that home.
Well, I believe this is the last dump. Not the last dump for this rock picker though, that's for sure. We are on our last pass of tillage with this field too. Cameron's working with the quick till, and I think we're gonna call it good. He's running the direction that we're going to farm the field, and it's smooth. We still got some clumps out there. I think it's gonna literally take another 100 passes before we get rid of all those clumps, or wait a while, get a couple rain showers on it, and then till it again. But we don't want to do that. I think it's just gonna be good enough. It's smooth. This first year we might not have the greatest seed bed in the world, but it's not worth tilling the crap out of it. And we want to get it seeded this year. We don't want to wait on it for the summer to let the sod rot, so we're just gonna send it. It's good enough. Next year will be a great producing field. This year just might not be grade A. It's like grade B+. We are still finding random treasures out here though, that's for sure. Got me an old half T-post and a little piece of barbed wire. I'm walking up to take a look at this scrap hill where I was picking up all this scrap iron. We ran the cultivator across it. I already found a dump rake tooth, and I'm not even up here yet, so we're off to a great start. An old Melrose plow blade, or Melrose plow blade, however you say it. One of them probably would have worked pretty good for tilling this soil up. Got a big load. Right in the payloader track. Now, if that was sitting a special way like this, that one expensive payloader tire, that's not exactly the easiest thing to patch. This is ridiculous. There's stuff out here everywhere. Well, this isn't scrap iron, but still doesn't quite belong in a field. Why are you dumping the rock out? I love picking rock twice. I think we probably have about 20 grand worth of scrap iron here, if we scrap the payloader too. That is a lot of scrap. Probably at 22,000 now. Well, Brandon's gonna take that scoop away and dump it in the hole. I think we have to, yeah, I keep saying that, but I just keep finding stuff. I think we gotta be getting close to all of it. Oh my gosh. Okay, this payloader is officially done down here. It's going home. And the excavators are already home. So I'm gonna put these rippers right on there so that way that payloader can take them home. There we go, that's one. There we go, that should stay perfectly. Now we load the skid steer onto the trailer back there. Oh, we can never win with tires around here. Why is that there? Well, now we're gonna take a large convoy of stuff home. The skid steer with the pickup, this payloader, the rock picker, and the other payloader. On the way home though, Joey's always thinking ahead. There's a spot in the road with a culvert and a dip. So he wants to grab a little bit of gravel, fill that little hole in and smoothing it out. So when they're driving across it every single day this spring with all the equipment, we're not bouncing through it. It's a bad day for Billy Bob Joe over there. Got his old case 1070 stuck. I don't see him there. If I did, I'd maybe offer my hand to pull him out. Well, here's that little dip in the road, and Joey put the scoop down and level the back, drug it a little bit. That looks a lot better. Now, since I am Joey's favorite son and this is pit run, I'm gonna pick all the rock off and throw them on the edge of the road in the water.
I'm out of death. Need a fuel up. I always want to make sure you remember to close this one too. I've forgotten to close that one a time or two in the past. You notice it once you make a big mess on the fuel tank from diesel splashing out.
Well, we got everything home, minus the quick tail here, and he's on his last pass. I would say that this finally looks pretty good. We're not too lumpy. I think that'll make a pretty good seed bed. And I almost have all the scrap iron picked up here. Oh, this should be the last time this keeps on giving, because once we get this into a no-till program, we should be good. I was sitting here, I saw a bolt sticking up. Where did it go? Anyway, I'm gonna walk this hill one last time, get everything picked up, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. End of video comment if you're still watching. Scrap.